All right, so I'll wait till it turns there.
And there you go.
And there we go.
There
So we will call this meeting to order. Do we have a quick look at the minutes? And then tell me what you think. Ready?
Yes.
Do I hear a
That's
motion? That's right. Good. Okay, the minutes stand approved. Oh, sorry, all those in favor?
Aye.
Minutes stand approved. So let's talk about old business. I can jump in if you don't mind on dust up relocation. The guy that I'm talking to, and this is still, of course, it's preliminary, just we're looking for something interesting, and he seems to be the guy, I've been his ear 2 days ago. He said he's swamped with stuff at the school, but he's trying to get some cost estimates to have things specially fabricated, the fan blades. So we'll get something closer on that, but I mean, I don't know, do we have a deadline on that?
We do not.
Okay, but
so
that's something we want to get done.
I would think that we want it to be part of our 2024 work plan.
Okay.
And so that way, once we have a work plan, we can move from there. I'll be back.
Okay, all right, and then I should have some better understanding of the budget and how it's gonna all play out.
Okay.
Should be back.
Cigarette?
No.
I'll be back in a minute.
You can keep going. Ron.
Okay, Felicia's got the biz on this one.
Oh,
The
okay.
selection committee. So sorry, any questions about the dust up relocation? We sort of talked about it over and over again, and just kind of waiting for him to get us.
Pending.
Yeah. And I should say, I think I've said this before too, he's working with somebody else. So he's in the art department, and there's another guy in the physics department, and they've done all kinds of interesting projects and learned how to do 3D printing together. And so that's where the little video clip we watched, it's all 3D printed with plastics. So he's wanting to make something, he gets the message that it's got to be durable, and it doesn't need, we don't want it to be something that's going to have to have maintenance out there once a year or something. So he's trying to figure out a way to do that. Yeah. The mural project.
The mural project is ready to go. I just need to have some of you on a call with some of the artists so we can just get a feedback on, for South Dunnigy, do we want 1 or 2 artists? Sorry about that. Spam. And then for the downtown, we'll do 1 artist for the downtown for that building. So again, South Dunnigy has 2 parts. It has each side. So we were thinking we could, since we selected 3 artists, we could give them
That's right.
each side. And so if you guys want to, if we're going to do that, then we just need to kind of maybe do a video call with them and kind of get their thoughts on the location.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Can I just clarify? So we did top 3,
Mhm.
and then, so the idea is, if I'm understanding you, that we'll have 2 of them work on South Donaghy, and the other one will, so somehow we're gonna, I think that's a great plan.
Mhm.
Yes, okay, good.
So I'm going to schedule some interviews with them. I'll send you guys the links, and if you can jump on the call, fine. I know everyone has crazy schedules, so I'll send you guys some times. We'll pick a few, and then we'll go from there. But hopefully, we can try to do that this month. And then I still think I may be too late for, depending on how, I don't know how fast they can do it. I don't know. They'll tell me.
Good point.
The weather.
Oh, for
just
the weather?
weather-wise.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah,
getting
I don't
close to, I'm getting very
know.
close to the end of,
I think it's gotta be really cold before you can paint. Is that what you mean?
Before you can't.
Before you can't.
Right, before you can't, sorry, before you
Yes.
can't
No, you're
paint.
fine.
okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it
Yes.
doesn't have to be like in the 30s.
But it's getting
No.
at night,
No, I
overnight.
thought there was a city ordinance. We were not.
That's true, that's true.
Yeah.
So I'll let the artists
Okay.
kind of drive that conversation as far as timelines. Just know we'll be a little flexible there just because we are rolling into the winter. And so maybe early spring before we have a concrete plan, but they'll be set and ready to go. We'll have contracts and everything signed and ready. So the only thing they'll do is let us know when they're gonna start, boom, and they'll start.
So can I, just a suggestion?
Mhm.
So when you reach out to those three and tell them we're gonna do a conference call, something like a Zoom, right, Zoom, whatever it is, ask them to have images ready for us, sketches or something,
Yes,
so we.
We're gonna
so
ask
some-
for, I'm going to send them the photos of
Okay.
South Donaghy so they can just see what they're working with. And then the wall, and
Okay.
then just kind of like give them a few days to kind of come up with
Yeah,
just some ideas. They don't do too much in advance because it's
Right,
part
right.
of their, that's
And-
part of
but
their
it's kind of a
contract.
no-brainer,
Yeah.
right? They should know
Yeah.
to do that,
Yeah.
so, okay.
Yeah,
All
they
right.
don't give you.
Be
they won't-
lucky if you get something.
Yes, I was like,
Yeah.
don't be surprised if they don't give us
Yeah.
anything, because it is part of their,
Right, part
work,
of the,
it's
and
part of
we've
their
selected
fee.
them.
yes,
Yeah,
it's part
yeah.
of their fee
Yeah.
that they will, and again,
Mhm.
they're selected, so again, if we're saying, hey, we're gonna give you one
They're
of the
in.
jobs, I think that
Yeah.
will give us a little something.
So they already vaguely have this timeline on their radar, correct?
So it has changed, so
Okay.
it was city council, with city council having approved it, it's changed just
That's
a little
right,
bit,
that's right.
so
It
yeah,
could come down to them being booked for the next.
that's true. You're
month or
absolutely
two.
right, yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so we'll have a conversation with them and then kind of firm it all up, because once we talk to them, we'll know, the timeline, if they're available. Because we wouldn't want someone to be like, oh, I can't paint it until next August.
Yeah.
We kind of want to get these kind of done and on the radar. But we'll do that, so you guys will look for some emails from me, and then you can jump on, that would be great. It's very informal, we just kind of have an informal process with them. Let them give an intro of who they are and what they do, and they'll show us some of their past works. Some people will have ideas of what they want to see outside, because you do kind of have a scope of work from the RFQ.
Mhm.
So, except for the downtown mural. So that's one that we'll have to
Mm.
think about a little bit.
Yeah.
Or let them kind of drive that
Yeah, I
conversation.
forgot all about that one. Do we have a theme for
We
that?
do
or-
not.
Okay, so something, anything.
Anything, I
Okay.
guess, I mean, show me what you got.
Okay, this is the one that the cities or this board is doing
Mhm.
because other things are funding other ones. Okay.
So if
all
you
right.
didn't have a notice, if you walk on this side of City Hall, the mural is not starting for City Hall.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, it's exciting.
Very good.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be really
I
good.
appreciate your confidence.
I love the color. I just put
Good.
this color on the wall.
Good. Well, excellent. So new business priorities. So yeah, I don't know, the Arts Fest. Have you been talking to people about that?
We have,
Okay.
so we've had some conversations about partnership with Conway Arts Fest. We talked about it before, a couple years ago when Arts Fest, I'm sorry, that should say Art Walk, that threw me off.
Art Walk.
I should say Art Walk.
Right, right.
I was like, when is the fest?
The Arts Fest
happened.
is,
Too many arts.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's to be arts. Arts Fest was a conversation we had a long time ago, doing some kind of partnership with Arts Fest, and it never kind of came to fruition. But Art Walk is becoming very popular. I think they had a really good year. We went to the one in October and
Yep.
was pleasantly surprised.
I
It was very good.
Saw one of you there. Or were you both there?
Yes, we were both there.
Uh-huh.
We were
Right.
both there.
Sorry, the distance. And I've
We were
seen
both
people are
there,
like,
so
yeah.
it was really good.
Yeah.
It was a nice. So I think maybe having the art board have some kind of component within that. Maybe even if we're sponsoring someone else, like if we're sponsoring, I know the one thing they want to look at is music. So maybe if we can sponsor like an art booth or some of the just something to where we can say the Conway Art Board assisted with Art Walk. I think it would be a good partnership for us to have. And so once we get in 2024, one of the things we want to do is get together and have a workshop and maybe invite Nick to come and talk about some of the plans. What does he see happening? Where can we help? And just kind of take it from there. There's a meeting that is happening November the 2nd. I could have the date wrong. With the
That's right. Yeah, that's a Friday.
and so
Yeah.
there's someone else that's wanting to partner with the Public Art Board to say, hey, we're here, and how much art can we put over the city of Conway. So I think those partnerships give us the opportunity, when you talk about grants, to kind of have the best leverage for your funding. So that way you're not having to use all your funding to do an art project. You can use a grant and do a match. And so grant opportunities, we're going to look at those as well. If there's grant opportunities out there, we would love to take advantage of some of those. And it's 80-20, which means we're only using 20% of your money because the
80-20.
grants are 80%. So that would be really good.
Is that the MAA?
The MAA, I'm not for sure what their funding request would be.
Okay.
So this will be my first time
Okay.
talking with them.
I'm sorry, I can't make that. And I'm
There's
glad I didn't
Arkansas
make
Arts
that turn.
Alliance as
From the airport also. That.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So that's.
So those will be things we'll talk about at our workshop, and we'll schedule one for 2024. We'll just have an open meeting, but it'll be more of discussions of what projects you would like to see in 2024. Kind of want to get 3 projects at least. Any partnerships you want to do. So we'll do it on the front end at the beginning of the year. So that way we have anticipated budgets for each of the projects, if we need RFQs for those projects, if we need bids for those projects. And then we kind of want to work on looking at the public art master plan. That's a plan that has a lot of different things that the public art board can do. And so just kind of looking at that plan and kind of taking ownership of it. What in that plan can we accomplish in 2024? It may just be one thing, or it may be 2025, but just kind of looking at that plan and keeping that plan in our vision so that we can kind of go through and it's a really good plan. And I think that it'll be interesting for Conway to kind of have some of the things that are in the plan. So I think that'll
I want
be,
to see that. That sounds really interesting.
yeah, so that'll be, and then of course we'll talk about the anniversary sculpture piece. So that'll be something we'll work on in 2024. Won't happen until again 2025, but that'll be a project that will have to start in 2024.
Yeah, I would say we get an early start.
It'll be a larger project. So, and we'll work on the budget for that piece, location, ideas, timeline. So for that meeting, we will do what we expect for you to bring to the meeting. So we'll do for the partnerships. Do you have any ideas of anyone that we can work with that can provide a partnership? Again, we want the public art board to be active in the community. And again, I think Arts Fest, Art Walk, even like some of our other boards, the Conway Tree Board has an event, even just partnering with some of them, I think, again, those are things that you guys can do that are be really fun and easy. And then city projects, any city projects that are at the beginning stage, we will also talk about at the workshop. And one of those projects is the Pocket Park. And so getting in on the beginning of the Pocket Park, what do you see in the Pocket Park that the public art board can contribute to, and making that space feel like the public art board was there.
Talk to me about workshop. Are you thinking a Saturday? Like how are you picturing that?
It doesn't necessarily have to be a Saturday. It can be, but we can do them after hour. I mean, we can do them like during our meetings. They'll just be a little bit long. They'll just be a little bit longer. Yeah, I would say they would just so. I mean, if we come ready and prepared,
5:37.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, just so, and again, our goal is to get input from you guys. A lot of the input comes from externally, things that people want us to do, but we would love to get some input from you guys. We'll take some of the comments that I've seen on social media and we'll throw them up on the board as well and keep those just in our peer review so we just know what other people are expecting. But again, as a board, what you guys see for 2024. And then we'll work to get all of those completed. That's where we'll come in and make sure that we actually have something tangible each year that you guys have done.
That's great.
I think that is pretty, like getting involved. One of the things that I thought was pretty neat, and I actually made one, was the tree board being involved in Art Walk. And they just had like a table and there was like a banner piece behind them, but they used leaves. They had people drawing leaves, and I actually drew a leaf. It was pretty neat and cool, but you had kids and adults, but it was a way for them to be involved in a different type, but still tying into art. So something of that, something, if music or something, just to make the presence known that the Public Art Board is here.
Were y'all at when the poetry awards were made? That was really interesting because there were the vast majority of people who showed up were family members of the people who were winning.
Mhm.
Well, that turns out was a lot of people.
Yeah,
So
it's a
it was
lot,
like
yeah.
40, maybe 40 people showed
Yeah.
up, and it was exciting. And they got the signs.
They
You all
got
saw
the
the
sign.
signs.
We
They got,
made the
which were
signs, yeah.
clever and weird and so cool. The
Yay!
city can do it, but they were so excited to get it. And like, this is what's going up on the street. And that was a really nice
Yeah.
and I think relatively simple and inexpensive kind of way to do it and
Mhm.
get out there and connect. I think that was a real success. But that's Jenny just, working
Yeah.
like a dog, I think, to get that all
Yeah,
done.
she did. She worked really hard
Yeah.
to keep us on point.
Mhm.
It was really good to work with her. And the signs, when we got them small, we knew we wanted to do some with them. They're also in my office just because I love them so much. I love those signs. So I think that was a really cool gift to give the artists.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So
Do we do anything for like the tree lighting ceremony? Do we show up in any way? 'Cause there's a lot of people that show up to that event as well.
What's going on?
yeah, so that's a chamber event. So that's an event that they kind of have Illuminate. It's kind of that
The
event
theme
that's
for
kind of structured there. But it may be some opportunities to partner with them. We'll just have to see in what regards we'd be looking to partner and what we would want to do there as it incorporates arts. So
I think sponsoring a musician at Art Walk is a good idea.
mhm.
I think it's feasible and I think it would make an impact. We could display signage by
Yep.
them or,
I thought the same thing. I thought, when we first start off, there may not be an art, avenue to it, but there's a way to get us involved until we kind of figure out how we get the public art board involved. If there's a table, you could do something as simple as having canvases, because we found out that was like,
That was a hit.
that was a hit
Oh, the
at
little
our event.
canvas?
You just have the little 5x7 canvases and you have paint and you let them paint, and that was, really cool, and find a way to have it,
I thought it would be mainly kids, but we had adults doing it too, and they enjoyed it just as much as the kids at the culture in the park.
3 canvases at my house. Thank you, Siobhan.
You have been displaying proudly.
I'm displaying proudly. So it was really neat.
I'm just sort of brainstorming there, but I don't know how that works with public and private. Like, could something be done with Hendrix? I don't
Absolutely.
quite know what
I
that
think-
is. Okay.
Yeah, I think there's always room for partnerships. I think there's always room for
Volunteer
public-private
opportunities.
partnerships.
Needs to do something. The new president seems to be really, she wants to get Hendrix connected more to the community. I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. That would be really interesting, maybe on an art walk, and have the campus open to kind of get people to walk
It's a
up to the
gateway down there,
campus
yeah.
and feed them or something weird.
Yeah.
#1 dining hall in America.
Yeah.
Well, in 2015, but
In 2015.
The food is good.
it's
pretty
it's
good.
crazy.
Go every Sunday.
Yeah, it's a tradition. It's so funny.
Very good, yeah.
Okay.
But again, things like that, I think, is what we want to see at the workshop. We'll definitely be looking for a lot of ideas, and I don't think any idea is a bad idea. I think we stick it on the wall and we kind of find a way to make it work, whether it works in 2024 or 2025. Maybe it'll take us some time to kind of, get that idea going, but I think all ideas will be welcomed, and I think that's where you guys come in at is, providing those ideas and say, hey, we could partner with Hendrix and XYZ. Or
Mhm.
we could ask the art walk where they're going, and just kind of like getting all that out. So,
Mhm. No, that's really good. Okay. Oh, wow.
that's all I had, other than, sending the emails for the artists, y'all get those.
Yep.
So
For periods of time. Are you
Yeah.
assuming those be like afternoon, or maybe it's
what's
up
the
to
best time?
artist?
I was gonna say, I wouldn't be opposed to running up here for 30 minutes, maybe one day, if we could schedule them back to back to back. I don't know. You said in the next month, would it be too much of an extreme to do it at our next meeting?
Oh,
At our next,
or is that pushing it too far down the road?
that may be pushing
That
it
may be
too far.
pushing it too
Well,
far.
yeah. I'll need to reach out to them and kind of gauge. I think most of them are ready to
Get
have
Next
some.
steps,
Next
yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
Zoom meeting.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
They're kind of, online meetings, but they're handy.
Is there times that work better for y'all?
Afternoons. Yeah,
Afternoons work
afternoons.
better? They probably work better for me too. So
Yeah.
times work better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're definitely looking for us to reach out. So I want to send an email tomorrow
Okay.
to at least like touch bases with all of them. And I know once I do that, they're going to be eager to start. So
For the winter weather.
other than that, that's all I have. I just want y'all to keep the workshop in mind. That's the biggest thing. And then we need to, every year I like to make sure the schedule that we have, so we meet the third or is it the
Third.
third?
Wednesday.
So make sure that that date and that time still works for everyone, because this board is not changing for next year, so make sure that that still works. I know that we will look to either, probably we will cancel the December meeting, I'm almost positive, because it runs right into the holidays. We
third,
shouldn't have,
Mhm.
we shouldn't have anything pending, so depending on what the artists do,
Yeah.
the only thing that I have left is the workshop, and it starts in 2024.
Okay.
So.
Are you thinking like January 2024, something like that? Or
when
the
we-
workshop?
Yes, I'm thinking in
Okay.
January. We'll do
Okay.
it in January. So there's nothing I have after this month besides the artists. And once we get them going, they'll be going. So we'll look at the schedule and see if we need to meet November,
Okay.
December. If not, we'll cancel those. But other than that, everything will happen in 2024. And then you guys will kind of work together to kind of give us an idea of what you want to see. And then we'll work to get it done.
Yeah, any other new business? You guys have anything else going on? Okay, motion to adjourn?
Adjourned.
So let it be. So let it be done.